All right, so here we've got the notes for domain and range, so top or important information. So the domain of a relation is a set of all possible inputs. Usually these are represented by x's. So these are the numbers that are allowed to be plugged into your equation. The range is the outputs, so the numbers that come out of your equation. Usually these are our y values. So you have a couple ways you can denote these things. You have inequality notation, so domain is x, range is y. So A, B, C, D are included, which means the graph passes through those points. We change those less than signs to less than or equal to signs. You could also use what's referred to as interval notation, where you use parentheses to denote the range of values. If you notice, the x and the y don't appear in these cases. Once again, though, if they are included, those become brackets. So if your A and B would look like that with brackets. So some examples. So domain and range, so determine the domain and the range of the following graphs. So domain is the x values that are allowed. So we're just looking at just how does this graph run from left to right. So for this graph, our domain, the x value starts at -6, less than x, less than, and runs up to 12, or sorry, 12, 2 on the x-axis. Now, since there are closed dots there, we have to put the or equal to bars. If you prefer the interval notation, that would look like this. So either one is fine. Range is our y values, so we're looking at just up and down. So the lowest value this graph takes is -7, and the highest the value the graph takes is 0. So there are closed dots there, so or equal to bars. So interval notation would look like that. Okay. So another example, so for this guy, domain, so we start at -11, and we run all the way up to, looks like 9. So in interval notation, -11, comma, 9, with brackets because we're equal to. The range for this guy, let's see, the lowest value this graph takes, now it doesn't have to be an endpoint, like it's not this point here, it's actually this point down here, and that's at -2 on the y-axis. The highest value is +10. Now be careful that you're not reading like on the x-axis where that position is. You want to know the actual value. So it passes through that point, so or equal to, closed dot there at 10, so or equal to. So -2, comma 10. All right, so our next one, domain, so farthest left is -11. Farthest right is +11, and this does not get or equal to bars because those are both open circles at the ends. So if you want interval notation, that would look like this. Our range, the lowest value the graph takes is actually this point down here at -4 on the x, so the y value is -1, and the highest y value is this one here at +6. So now it passes through this point at -1, the graph goes through that, so or equal to bar here, but not at 6, because at 6 we have that open circle. So interval notation is a little bit trickier on this because they're not the same. It's a bracket for -1 because of the equal to bar, but a parenthesis at 6 because there is no or equal to bar. All right, next one. All right, so domain and range. So this one, domain is -10 up to +9 with the or equal to bars. So that would look like this. Oops, sorry, off the screen. Range, the lowest value is down here at -1, and the highest value is actually up here at what looks like +4. Passes through both of them, so we get the or equal to bars or the brackets. Alrighty, another one, so domain and range. So the domain for this guy, farthest left is -9, farthest right is +10, or equal to bar there, so -9, 10 for interval notation. Open circle here, so regular less than or parenthesis. For range, our lowest value is actually right here at +2, and our highest value is actually right here at what looks like 7, and it passes through both of them. There's not open circles there, so 2, 7, brackets. Okay, I think these are the last two examples here. All right, so domain, -3 is the farthest left it goes. 11 is the farthest right, 2 closed dots, so the or equal to bar. So -3, 11, brackets. For range, the lowest point is here, -7. And the highest point here is at 2. Passes through both of them, so or equal to bars, or brackets. All right, last one. So the domain, -9 on the left, +5 on the right, only a closed dot on the left, so only the equal to bar there. So 9, 5, parenthesis because of the no equal bar, bracket because of the equal bar. Range, the lowest value is way down here at -10. The highest value is up here at +3. Passes through the one at the top, so equal to bar there. So -10, parenthesis 3, bracket. And that brings us to the end of the section.